Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the AHGL Week 4 match between Zynga and Palantir. Hopping right on into the game, we see that spawning in the top right-hand corner is none other than the infamous Marauder King from Team Zynga. I know there's a Marine King, I know there's a Ghost King. Little did I know a Marauder King existed, and he works at Zynga. No longer the Zynga Zerg team, now has a Terran. What a relief. Down on the bottom right, my best friend, Tristan. People talk about bias in casting, and if you need an example, feel free to continue resuming this game. Down on the bottom right from Team Palantir is Mantra. Now, once again, the AHGL is a for-fun league, so everyone is playing for the pure joy of engaging in competition. Of course, winning is fun, but showing up and participating is the funnest of all. Therefore, this cast is not going to be too serious. The only thing that is serious is the money on the line, $5,000 for charity's sake, and the fact that everyone you can think of, high school, college, and of course corporate, are all playing StarCraft 2. Isn't that reassuring? Isn't that wonderful to think about? Well, it'll all depend on whether or not Tristan wins. Tristan, who's been focusing largely on his career as a writer, a tech writer, a recreational writer, has not been playing as much StarCraft lately. Notice how that's not on Wikipedia. That's just because I talked to him. Marauder King, I don't talk to him, but I can make it up. The king of the Marauder Kingdom. Far, far away. Everyone wears those Marauder suits, runs wherever they're going. The stalls in the bathroom of the Marauder Kingdom are enormous. They're like giant stables because of the huge, bulky, wide-brimmed genetic makeup of the Marauder Kingdom peoples. But Marauder King leads his roundly shapen warriors to victory as often as he humanly possibly can. And we'll see if he can do that again today. I was a little worried Marauder King was going to expand to Tristan's natural, but no. No such thing will end up occurring. Tristan did some sort of cancel. Oh no. It has to be a misclick. In the units lost tab, Tristan has lost 25 resources. And yet no units. It's a mystery. In the meantime, we do see that Mr. Marauder King playing under a slightly different AKA. You'll note that it doesn't match, but that's fine. That is his official alias. Marauder King now doing what I would describe as the ever so standard look to the Terran gameplay. Going for the Marine, going for the Command Center, and then going for all them Marine Marauders. I haven't gotten the opportunity to see a lot of the Swarm Terran versus Zerg. I'm already interested by the fact that Marauder King is going for the early double refinery. Perhaps we could see that swift as hell mine placement. But how will it do against the ultra-fast Stargate? Of course, don't hate the Stargate. You have to appreciate the fact that an Oracle is going to come out of here, kill 100 workers, and then Protoss will inevitably still lose and then request a buff in the forum. Mantra doing his best to maintain control of those watchtowers. Oh, the SCV sneaks on in. Mantra will continue to push onward as a representative of Team Palantir. Mantra now pulling back, getting ready to do some sort of expand. There is the Mothership Core now finishing up. Will kill off that SCV. Does it see it? Does it see the Stargate? Does it see it? Oh, he spotted it. Oracle in production, clearly seen at the front. A single bunker has repelled, effectively, the Zealot harassment. And Marauder King continues to build up all those things. Now, if Marauder King is a fan of Heart of the Swarm, he will be going Widow Mines. But if he wants to just be a reasonable human, he might do something like the standard reactored Hellion opening, very common after expands these days. But remember, this is Heart of the Swarm. There's every possibility we could see the Widow Mines trying to defend against the Oracle. This is actually going to be a critical moment. If Marauder King places his mines well, my dear friend Tristan could run headlong into doom. I mean, imagine planning out the perfect date. You have the flowers, you have the restaurant, you're wearing cologne even. You don't even know how much to put on. You just watched a YouTube video before you went out, and then you run into a stained glass door right as you're going up to her. Oh, she'll never let you live it down. Of course, with all that said, Tristan, who planned the perfect date, walked into no sliding glass doors and has successfully eliminated 8 workers. It was Hellions, not Widow Mines, and at this point in time, Marauder King is having the Marauder sting of bad decision-making. But that's fine. If he's anything like MKP, he's just going to lift off both orbitals, go all in, and make the game even again. Entertainment value. So now Mantra continues to do harassment with double Oracle, setting up his expansion. Gateways continuing to be added on. Don't actually need to get those observers up. Oh, look out, Oracle! You don't necessarily need to get all of those detectors up. You don't need the robotics facility. You can easily dovetail the Oracle into doing a little bit of revealing, envisioning action for you. Revelation, the envision, all good sight-based abilities. In the meantime, Mantra is trying to figure out a way to land the Oracle to maintain vision with that Xel'Naga watchtower. Now constructing this this robotics facility. You don't need to do that, but that's recommended. Why not? Now, although the Oracles can do massive damage, we see in the Units Lost tab, the only damage that Mantra has done is to himself, in the form of accidentally canceling a building. Yeah, that might seem good, but note that Marauder King is starting to stockpile up Marines, Marauders, Hellions, starting to get a good force, and what does Mantra have? But only a few Stalkers. The gas that would ordinarily be spent on sentries is gone. So, most Protoss play is built around spending gas early on sentries, using those to reinforce Colossi, Immortals, other big mid-game units for Protoss, but because Tristan has built these 2 Oracles, he will not be able to have those sentries built up. A little bit of harassment, but nice placement there. Marine, not nicely placed. He has been alive for about 4 seconds. It's pretty much mimicking that one Carbots episode. And here the Marauder is going to make a debut appearance for Marauder King Prime. And Tristan has to go home. Yeah. Alright. This reminds me of a BYOC, bring your own computer, where someone brings a laptop that is not really fully charged, gets on, watches a replay, loses power, and now it's time to just sort of watch what other people are doing. Sounds like a contrived story, but that's actually an autobiographical story, so don't laugh too hard. Mantra right now, adding on the usual mix of Immortals. He's going for the Zealot leg speed. This is a very common look, the Zealot leg speed. Oh, excuse me, the blink. Oh! Alright, I was about to talk about Heroes Immortal Zealot mixture, but now I'll talk about Squirtle's Blink Stalker Immortal mixture. Very common defensive formation, works excellently against especially those Ignite Afterburners, the speed upgrade for the Medivacs, but without a lot of sentries, this attack could be quite a difficult one to defend. The Oracle's energy is not particularly high. They're going to need a little bit more before they turn on Pulsar Beam mode to be able to defend. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Marauder King. Marauder King. Positioning himself for the attack. Stim. Done. Combat Shield. Done. Hellions. Will they turn into Hellbats? Hell no. These are straight normal Hellions. Now, for everything I said about not having sentries, I neglected to mention that the Mothership can turn every Nexus into a giant planetary cannon. That'll suffice for now. In the meantime, we do see that one armory is coming up. The engineering bay getting ready to do that +2. The Hellbats are no doubt about to be en route. A single Oracle lost his life trying to return back home Oracle's some of the most expensive mid-game paperweights ever created in Heart of the Swarm. Some of you are wondering, why Hellions? Because Hellbats are biological. Hellbats can be healed by Medivacs! And here he is swarming in, getting ready to do the engagement. The massive amount of life that the Hellbats have, tanking some of that initial damage. However, Immortal, Blink Stalker, with some force fields, more than enough to annihilate that threat. Mantra almost done with the blink. Soon we'll be able to dart down and take out all those invading forces. Now, in the meantime, even though that attack was a somewhat tragic failure of Terran decision-making, Marauder King is playing quite well, getting himself a 3rd base up. No matter how poorly your attack goes, as long as you have a 3rd base up, then you're pretty much going to be fine. Any base behind any attack is always a good choice. It's kind of like when, in America, no matter what entree you order, if they ever say, would you like it with bacon, you say, yes. Yes. Mantra right now, going for the ever so popular build geysers at bases you have because you like units style of play. This Oracle trying to claim to be somewhat useful. He's much like that tertiary character in the movie Looper. Hopefully he won't try to go out on his own and fix any of those problems. He'll just let the big boys, this army, do their thing. Now this is an increasingly common composition. Rather than going straight for the Robotech to emphasize the Colossus play, the Liquid Hero style of emphasizing Immortal Archon Templar. Very cool Marauder King with that expansion up. The double forge upgrades late, so late. Another side effect of having built this Oracle. Tristan wants to make sure that that missile turret has not been sold and recommissioned, but unfortunately this is not Command and Conquer. You cannot sell those things unless you're a bunker. Tristan coming in. Oh, the dastardly bastard picking off just a few SCVs before returning back to his usual course of action. In the meantime, we're seeing the Ghost Academy go down. Base being rounded out nicely. Interesting addition having the Hellbats in production right there. Hellbats doing just incredible amounts of damage. Look at that. 32 damage versus light. Emergency boosters. Here it comes. Emergency boosters allowing him to get set up for that drop. Will the Oracle spot it? Where is the Oracle? This is actually going to be quite a close call. Wow, Widow Mine's being planted in. Marauder King doing a nice job of the standard composition while adding in a couple of these Heart of the Swarm units to bolster it. The Hellbats and the Widow Mines, no doubt, can be very useful. Widow Mines especially for the retreat. Mantra taking a fourth base, adding in more gateways. All them gateways going down. Things looking very Protoss-y, very normal. Uh-oh, did Marauder King? It looks like Marauder King flew right by the Oracle. Zealots getting into position. Mantra desperately trying to construct cannons to be able to defend. Will he get away in time? Where's the Blink Stalkers? Can the Planetary Nexus be enough? Unloading right by those forges. Fortunately, the 1-1 upgrades are done for the Protoss player, so unfortunately for the Terran, he may very well just pick off a pylon and retreat. He needs to target fire something critical immediately. We're seeing the Hellbats do a little bit of blast and burning damage at that backside as the rest of Tristan's units appear. Oh, emergency thrusters. Oh, feedbacks. It's brutal. Oh, it's horrible. It's a complete massacre. I can only imagine how hard a medevac crashes when its emergency thrusters are blasting it down at 10 Gs towards ground. Poor things. Fortunately, Marauder King Prime knows that no matter how badly an attack goes, so long as you macro behind it, expand behind it, you are in good shape. Tristan now beginning to pick up the pieces, going for the +2, and inevitably the +2. Templar Archives going down. Power being returned. 4 probes on the job. Back to mining. 5 in gas. Tristan, if you're watching, I totally spotted that. Ooh, you corrected it. Oh, darn, I thought I was going to have some sort of social edge on you by presenting your follies in front of a live audience of thousands. In the meantime, Marauder King constructing additional missile turrets as the Oracles have continued to be quite the obnoxious harassment vehicle, acquiring 4 kills thus far this game. But Tristan has decided it's time to move out with a full 4 probes. Wow, there's 7 probes. Tristan, what's going on, man? 7 probes now advancing forward. The bank is starting to rally up. It's looking more and more like Tristan is going to kill this off, wall in those 2 zealots, and then kill this off again. This will prevent... I like that lol. This will prevent the Terran from being able to re-wall off this attack. This is actually a real problem. It looks like, oh my god, massive EMPs. Even more massive psionic storms. The Protoss army rushing in. Will it be enough? When we turn on the unit health bars, we see most of those units are looking to be absolutely A-OK, fine and dandy. Oh no, Tristan! Tristan, I am not ashamed to say in a biased fashion, come on, Tristan, pull it together. Marauder King now with a deadly force. Marauders, Marines, Medevacs, and of course Hellbats to do a little bit of additional tanking damage. The storms were indeed not enough. Observer, Oracle, in place. Tristan has to defend very well if he wants to hold off this attack. Fortunately, Tristan, the Macro Beast machine, already back up to 164 supply. Something's looking very odd about the coloring of these units. There we go. Now they're fixed back to normal. The scan reveals that those Templar do not quite have enough energy. Terran has fallen into the ever so infamous trap of attacking right after you've held off an attack. Did not regroup and retroop. Another failed attack. The ghosts asking to be cloaked. Just tell us the word, Commander. No word from Marauder King. He's busy making sure his precious Marauder peoples are the ones protected, not the ghosts. They're not the primary constituency in the next year's re-election process. And yes, this monarchy does have a re-election process. The poor ghosts left behind, maybe Ghost King Prime will be the one to take care of them. Mantra, starting to rebuild his army. More Hellbats in production, an additional factory to deal with those zealots. But this is somewhat of an uncomfortable spot for the Terran player. Although Mantra did suffer some losses, he has a 4th base, an up-and-running 3rd, now defended with a smattering of units. His +3 is almost done. He can soon start upgrading 2-1, a Templar, staying back home, just in case, just in case there's some sort of drop in a planetary. Medevac needs to be popping on in. But Marauder King doing a good job setting up some smart Widow Mine placement. Will Tristan walk into it? I'll give you 3 guesses. Oh, he only needed 3. Taking a little bit of damage, it's softening them up. The Widow Mine's basically doing their EMP impersonation. This is clearly proved to be the chasm of doom for our Protoss player right now. Both players running a little bit high on workers, 81 and 78, 4th base going down right now. And per usual, as we see players do again and again and again, this game is all about expansions and controlling expansions. Although Tristan was poising himself to strike at the 3rd, oh my god, Mantra. Oh! Marauder King only cares about the Marauder constituency, those ghosts getting fed back all to hell. I don't know if the past tense of feedback is feedbacked or fed back, but I do my best. Mantra, isolating this expansion, having but a single zealot there. That is GSL Code S Pro level. But Marauder King notes that the GSL has not yet played Heart of the Swarm. There's every possibility that this Hellbat Ghost Marine composition will be enough to thwart this. Marauder King, for this new style of play, is playing magnificently, just gently adding in a couple of these factory units. The ghosts, cloaked for just a minute. Now Marauder King's starting to trample his way forward, to trundle his way forth. How on earth will this pan out? The world does not yet know. Mantra, though, hanging up at 5k, 2k. Doing what all Americans do and try to buy money with their money. It's called investment, they say. Some people call it the wealth gap. Other people say, Sean, why are you discussing politics in a StarCraft show? I'm not entirely sure, but either way, taking bases is always good. A small zealot counterattack up at the top right side. Doing an excellent job ripping apart these SCVs. Oh no! Oh, Marauder King having difficulty managing all the attacks going on all the different sides, unloading. Will he be able to annihilate this expansion? It is a full-on Mega Drop Starship Troopers style. Units falling out of the sky. The Zealots have been cleaned up by the Ghost Pack. Right now with the full army of Mantra up there, it's time to run! Oh no! Some disorganization in Mantra with the infamous 1A. Not even relying on 2A as much. Trying to do a drop-up in the main base. The Templar is there, lurking, waiting, ready to strike. The shield upgrade nearly complete. The Colossus using their long range to annihilate units from the low ground. More units morph in. Emergency thrust away. Get out of there. Get out of there. A couple soul survivors will serve only one purpose in life. To be starting characters as a class in Mass Effect. Anyone? Anyone? Marauder King just now reestablishing control of a 4th base. Mantra reconstructing his nexus at his old 3rd, but has bases galore, more bases than he knows what to do with. Gateway count still doing oh so well. Looks like Marauder King coming back to try to do some attempted redropping, but the real problem for Marauder King is that there's not a lot of things he can threaten in the main. Not a lot of probes, not a lot. of upgrade centers. A storm on the cybernetics core. Everyone inside was well sheltered. They have great insulation in there. Marauder King trying to go for another redrop, but here's the real problem. This army, they know the battle of Tower Rock went poorly last time. Can they avenge their previous Tower Rock fallen comrades and kill the base? In a rather non-dramatic conflict, the answer is yes. Now Marauder King's ghosts are at the front lines. They need to throw down a huge volley of EMPs. Where are the EMPs? Marauder King relying on the fact that there is no detection for Mantra. Marauder King continuing to try to drop a couple Zealot Warp-ins. Oh, Marauder King with a cunning opening. Some cute execution in the mid-game. Falling short to the mass macro of Mantra. All Mantra needs is a detector. Or to wait. He just needs to wait until there's no more cloak, and good game! Tristan from Team Palantir brings his team up to 2-0. This means that although Zynga might seem on the ropes, there's every possibility of a comeback. When we return, we're going to see if Preposterous the Zynga Zerg can make the comeback or whether Palantir is going to close it out. Stay tuned, this is the After Hours Gaming League Week 4.